In 2022, researchers at Tufts University published a finding that made the entire medical community stop and rethink everything. After 3 weeks of monitoring, a group of patients who ate one specific fruit every single day reduced their visceral fat by up to 75%. That is the most dangerous type of fat, the kind that wraps around your heart, liver, and kidneys right now as you watch this. And that fruit, you can buy it at your nearest grocery store for less than $5 a container. But before I tell you what that fruit is, let me tell you something important. Visceral fat is not like the regular fat you see on your arms or thighs. It sits deep inside your belly, surrounding your internal organs, and it quietly releases inflammatory chemicals, clogs your blood vessels, and multiplies your risk of stroke and heart attack many times over. I had a patient named Beverly, 67 years old, living in Florida. She came to me with test results showing her visceral fat levels were in the danger zone, her blood pressure was high, and her blood sugar was starting to spiral out of control. She was not overeating. She was not inactive, but her body was fighting a battle she did not even know she was losing. So I guided her to add one very simple thing to her breakfast every morning. Just about 4 ounces, no cooking required. After 3 weeks, her numbers changed significantly. That thing was berries, and today I am going to explain to you exactly why it works so well. Part 1. The conditions your body needs to lose visceral fat. Before we talk about berries, I need you to understand one core truth. Visceral fat does not disappear just because you eat less or walk more. Your body needs to meet 4 specific conditions before it will start releasing visceral fat. The first condition is that insulin needs to work properly again. Insulin is like the gatekeeper of your body's fat storage. When insulin sensitivity is low, that gate gets stuck, and your body keeps pushing fat into your belly instead of burning it. After age 60, poor insulin sensitivity is extremely common and almost never comes with obvious symptoms that you would notice. The second condition is that chronic inflammation needs to be controlled. Chronic inflammation does not hurt, does not cause fever, but it signals your body to store visceral fat as a survival reflex. And the more visceral fat you have, the more inflammation you get. It is a vicious cycle that keeps feeding itself. The third condition is that you need to feel genuinely full, so your calorie intake naturally comes down, not forcing yourself to starve, but your body truly not asking for more. And the fourth condition is that your gut microbiome needs to be healthy. It sounds strange, but the billions of bacteria living in your gut play a direct role in how your body processes fat. A healthy gut means better fat metabolism. A weak gut means fat accumulates no matter what you eat. All 4 of these conditions need to be met at the same time. And here is the exciting part. Berries, especially blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries, have the ability to target all 4 of those conditions simultaneously. Part 2. What is inside berries that meets those conditions? So what exactly is packed inside those tiny little fruits that makes them so powerful? The answer comes down to 3 main compounds. The first is anthocyanins, and this is the #1 superstar. Anthocyanins are the pigments that give berries their deep blue, purple, and red colors. And they do not just look pretty. They do 3 things at once: improve insulin sensitivity, reduce chronic inflammation, and lower oxidative stress inside your cells. Blueberries and blackberries contain the highest amounts of anthocyanins of any berry. Back in 2010, researchers at Louisiana State University conducted a controlled clinical trial and found that people who added blueberries to their daily diet for 6 weeks showed significant improvements in insulin sensitivity compared to the placebo, without changing anything about their weight or eating habits. To put it simply, anthocyanins are like a locksmith that comes and unsticks that jammed gate to your fat storage so your body can finally start burning visceral fat again. The second compound is polyphenols, found in all types of berries, including strawberries. Polyphenols work in a more subtle way, but they are just as important. They regulate the enzymes your body uses to metabolize fat, they support inflammation reduction one more time, and most interestingly, they have the ability to influence how your metabolism-related genes express themselves. If you are wondering what genes have to do with this, here is the simple version. Your body has switches that control whether it burns fat or stores fat, and polyphenols can help flip the right ones. A 2022 study from King's College London followed over 2,700 pairs of twins and found that those who regularly ate berries had 3 to 9% less body fat than their identical twin siblings, even though their genetics were exactly the same. That tells you this is not about being lucky with your DNA. It is about what you eat. The third component is fiber, something most people overlook. when they think about berries. Blackberries have the highest fiber content of any berry, and strawberries are not far behind. Fiber does four important things at once. It keeps you feeling full longer, so you naturally eat fewer calories without forcing yourself. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut, keeping your microbiome strong. And most importantly, when fiber gets fermented by those gut bacteria, it produces compounds called SCFAs, which stands for short-chain fatty acids. If that is hard to remember, just call them your body's fat-burning signals, because that is exactly what they do. They send signals to your body to improve metabolism and boost insulin sensitivity one more time. So to put it all together, berries are not just a tasty snack, they are a compact toolkit that targets exactly the four conditions your body needs to start releasing visceral fat. Part 3, how to eat them and how much. So, how much is enough and what is the most effective way to eat them? The answer is simpler than you think. The recommended amount is about 4 to 6 ounces per day, which is roughly a handful and a half. You do not need to eat a whole container at once, and you do not need to stick to just one type. Mixing blueberries with blackberries or adding in some strawberries is ideal because each variety is strongest in different areas. The best time to eat them is in the morning or before your main meal. The reason is that eating berries before a meal helps slow down the spike in blood sugar that happens when you eat everything else, which helps insulin stay more stable throughout the rest of your day. You can eat them fresh on their own, mix them into plain unsweetened yogurt, or blend them into a smoothie with a little protein powder. Avoid packaged berry products like jams or candies because the added sugar cancels out all the benefits, and avoid adding sugar when you eat them yourself. Frozen berries work just as well as fresh ones, and sometimes the anthocyanin content is actually higher because they are frozen right after harvest. Part 4, what berries cannot replace. I have to be straight with you about this, because it is something a lot of other channels skip over to make everything sound more appealing. Berries are not a standalone miracle. If you are taking in more calories than your body needs every single day, berries cannot make up for that surplus. Excess calories mean fat still accumulates, no matter how many berries you eat. Berries also cannot replace protein. After age 60, your body needs adequate protein to maintain muscle mass, and muscle is what burns fat for you even while you are resting. Without muscle, there is no efficient fat burning. Berries cannot replace sleep. Poor sleep raises cortisol, and high cortisol tells your body to store visceral fat. That is basic science, and no fruit in the world beats a solid 7 hours of sleep. And berries cannot replace movement. Just 20 to 30 minutes of walking each day makes a noticeable difference when combined with berries. They support each other, and neither one can do the full job alone. Visceral fat is not your destiny. Your body always has the capacity to recover when you give it the right tools. And sometimes those tools are smaller and simpler than you ever imagined, like just one handful of berries every morning. You do not need expensive medications. You do not need a punishing diet. You just need consistency and the right direction. You deserve a healthy body at this stage of life, and I truly believe you can get there. If this video helped you, please share it with your family and friends so they can also learn how to take control of their visceral fat before it causes serious complications. Give this video a like so it gets recommended to more people, and subscribe so we can meet again in the next health tip. I will see you soon.